Assalamualaikum. This is Aklimau Sultana. Here we are going to present our experience about our group assignment based on the topic Nor'easter. First, I will touch on the definition of the Nor'easter. A nor'easter is a storm along the east coast of North America, so called because the winds over the coastal area typically from the northeast. Now, my entire group mates occasionally describes about nor'easter, like what nor'easter is, where is the nor'easter going to hit, why do nor'easter happen, why is the nor'easter happening, devastating effect of nor'easter, difference between nor'easter and hurricane. Eventually, we finished our presentation with
Thanks Sultana for your amazing presentation. Now I'm gonna proceed this presentation. Namaskar everyone, this is Shithidhar Brishti. I have collected some important information on nor'easters and have prepared this infographic. Let's have a look on this. Anyone living in Atlantic Canada and the US Northeast certainly knows the term nor'easters and perhaps cringes at hearing it in their weather forecast. What exactly is a nor'easter? A nor'easter, also called northeaster, is a synoptic scale extratropical cyclone in the western North Atlantic Ocean. The name derives from the directions of winds that blow from northeast. Nor'easters are classified into two major categories. Number 1, Miller type A nor'easter, and number 2, Miller type B nor'easter. It usually develops between Georgia and New Jersey within 100 miles east or west of the east coast. Unlike the Saffir-Simpson scale for hurricane intensity, there is no widely used scale for a nor'easter. However, the little-known Dolan-Davis scale developed by Robert Dolan and Robert Davis in 1922 classifies nor'easters into 5 categories based on their wave height.
How do nor'easters form? Nor'easters begin to form within 100 miles of the coast that stretches between New Jersey and Georgia. This area is a perfect spot for the formation of storms. The polar jet stream blows cold air southward out of Canada and eastward toward the ocean. The Gulf Stream provides warm waters along the east coast from Florida to the mid-Atlantic states. Where the cold air and warm water meet, a low-pressure system forms. The low-pressure system causes clouds to form and a storm to develop. Here is a formation of a nor'easter. Where do nor'easters hit? It may not be why we call them nor'easters, but they do mostly affect the northeast. These are storms that develop and move along the east coast. They hit a densely populated sector. Large cities like Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington DC are all vulnerable to these storms.
Why and when do nor'easters happen? Here we see the visible satellite image of the March 2040 nor'easter. A nor'easter is a storm along the east coast of North America. These storms may occur at any time of year but are most frequent and most violent between September and April. Beginning in October and ending in April, the nor'easter season runs for 7 months. Nor'easters usually develop in the between Georgia and New Jersey within 100 miles east or west of the east coast. The frequency of nor'easters is much higher than hurricanes, and out of the 20 to 40 annual storms, at least 2 or 7. Nor'easter storms form when cold air meets warm water, creating a low pressure system.
Devastating effects of nor'easter. Nor'easters have the potential to impact society to a greater extent than hurricanes and tornadoes. Example: coastal storm, high tides, heavy flooding, heavy rain, heavy wind, winter storm, snowstorm, various degrees of wave and erosion, damage to structures, erosion of natural resources such as beaches, dunes, and coastal bluffs, and so on.
Difference between nor'easter and hurricanes. Hurricanes most commonly form in 0 to 30 degree north latitude. On the other hand, nor'easter form in 30 to 60 degree north latitude. Hurricane drive energy through latent heat from a warm ocean. On the other hand, nor'easter drive their energy from horizontal temperature contrast with cold Arctic air. Hurricane winds are strong near the surface and decrease with height. On the other hand, nor'easter winds are strongest aloft degrees toward the surface.
I'm very glad to floor here. Let's discuss about my topic. Preparing for a nor'easter. Before the storm. Preparation is key to writing out a storm that may limit your travel, create a loss of power, and limit communication. Be oil informed, sign up for local alerts and alert warnings. Create an emergency plan should you lose power for an extended period of time. Stock up on emergency supplies and batteries for items like flashlights, carbon monoxide detectors, etc. Be sure to have a few days worth of any mandatory prescription medication. Stock up on bottled water and food items that you will not need to cook. Gather warm clothes and blankets. During the storm, stay off the road, only travel when it is absolutely necessary. Dress for the occasion if you should need to leave the comfort of your home. Protect your property. Removing the weight of heavy snow from your roof can prevent a roof collapse but should only be done carefully. Never step directly onto the roof in order to remove the snow. Use the snow removal roof rack instead. Heat your home safely. As snow begins to melt, ice dams can occur on your roof and create major damage to your home. Anyway, we don't prolong our session. Thank you very much.